in Minnesota. It's so beautiful and white, so cold and so warm in my home. So, good morning. All right, we're diving into this Dream It, Pin It, Live It book. We've been actually going through this book since November. And yesterday, earlier this week, our girls started creating their vision boards. I showed you on my stories, if you follow on my stories. I started mine last night. My husband is starting his very soon. We'll be working on our vision boards here over the next week as we're getting ready to dive into the new year. So this book that we have been going through is called Dream It, Pin It, Live It. So we've talked about the dream it part. We talked about writing out goals, things that you want to accomplish this next year. What are you wanting? We talked about pinning it. So I'm going to show you my vision board. It's not done, but I'm going to give you an idea. And then I really want to touch base on this live it part. What does that mean? What does that look like? If I had to put one word to the live it, it would be action. The word is action. And so as you're creating and as you're dreaming and as you're putting it on your wall, then there's a part of living it out. So my friend Krista messaged me today. Please hold as I take a drink. I'm drinking orange ketones. If you are a ketone drinker, what flavor are you drinking this morning? Super great. All right. If you did not tell me where you're tuning in from, tell me where you're tuning in from. Let me ask you this question. Are you ready for Christmas? So are you done shopping? Everything's ready? Or are you just getting started? My brother called me yesterday. He had to swing by our house. And he's like, I have to swing by your house. We had some conversations. We were chit-chatting. He's like, I have to go Christmas shopping. And I was like, Dakota. It's fine. So are you a last minute shopper? Are you all done? I'd like to know. All right, we're going to dive into this live it part. So my friend Krista messaged me this morning and she's like, Stephanie, we've been doing the Dream It, Pin It, Live It. She's like, have you ever read this book? I'm going to show you another book. But I read so many books. And just so you know, if you're brand new, you can post new below. Also, if you go to ketomomsecrets.com, it's all one word. It's our blog. It's our website. Click on book club. You can see all of the books that we've done. You can watch the lives. You can go through the books with me or just get some ideas of incredible books to read. So we went through this book called The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. It's a new book. I think we went through it this summer. It might have been July or August last summer. And she's like, I just got to chapter 10. And she goes, here's what people don't realize. I'm going to read one phrase to you. And it has to go with living it. It has to go with this word of action. Because guess what? I'm going to show you something that I started creating last night. I'm not done with my vision board. But if you don't do the last step, which is the actions, if you don't take action, if you have goals, that's great. Ed Mylett says it this way. He says, there's a difference between goals and standards. He goes, I've got a mind-blowing revelation for you. This is chapter 10, which this is an incredible book. So if you're looking for a really great book, I mean, specifically for husbands or some teenage boys, like, here, get this book for them. It's not too late. And this book is all over the place, by the way. I keep telling people, give the gift of reading and wisdom and books for Christmas. So if you are the last minute shopper and you need a gift, go find some good books. But he says this, there's a very high probability that you're not going to reach your goals. And I was like, oh, I forgot. I read all of this and I forgot what he said. He goes, because unfortunately, or fortunately, goals and standards are two different things. So he goes, you have to set standards. And I'm not going to read all of this to you, but he basically says this, many people confuse goals and standards. They often mistaken them as one and the same, and they're not. Before you can achieve your goals, you must understand the role standards play. And he basically walks you through your life of like, what are the standards you're willing to accept? Because you have a goal, but we fall. So there's a book that we've also read. Man, there's so many books and so many things that keep standing out to me. The book called Atomic Habits. He says you don't rise to the level of your goals. This is in the book Atomic Habits, another incredible book. Listen to this one phrase. My husband says this often. You don't rise to the level of your goals. We have goals on this vision board that I'm going to show you. Okay? I'm going to walk you through this in just a second. Well, here it is. you fall to the level of your systems. You could even say you fall to the level of your standards. What are you willing to accept? What are you willing to just go, oh, it's fine? What are you accepting the way people treat you? He talks about that in this book. So this is a book that we can go through again later on this year. I'm not going to go through right now, but I just want you to think about that. So I've got goals. I've got these written out. I've got my part of the action step is SMART goals, but also understanding like just because I have something written down, just because I have it on a visual and I print out the pictures and I have it all neat and fun and it's hanging on my wall, doesn't mean I'm actually going to achieve them. I have to live it. I have to understand the power of standards. I have to listen to this phrase of like, oh, I actually don't rise to the level of my goals. I fall to the level of my systems. The systems are habits. The systems are standards. The things that you will fall to when you're like, shoot, I'm fine with this. It's just okay. I'm just going to accept this. When you raise your standards, when you raise your habits, when you raise your systems, when you create those action steps, that's what will get you to your goals. So this is a great book. I'm thankful for Krista who messaged me. She lives in Tennessee. And so I talked to so many incredible people in the morning and I was like, thank you for reminding me of that because that's what we're talking about this morning. And so as we're going through this Dream It, Pin It, Live It, the only thing I wanted to read to you out of this was this. She basically says, preparation time is never wasted time. And oftentimes people think that the things that you do throughout your morning and throughout your day and the things that people don't see, those action steps day in and day out of getting up when your alarm clock says get up, of doing your DMOs, which I talked about yesterday, but doing the things every single day that are going to get you to where you want to go, right? Those little habits that are stacked over time will get you to those goals that you're written down. So basically, here's all I wanted to say. I'm going to show you something. So I started my board last night. My board is different than other people's boards. My board, I just started with words. I have pictures that I printed and I'll print them or I'll go pick those up today. And what I wanted you to understand is so I created my board kind of like the book Kazone, another book that we went through. If you want to go to ketomomsecrets.com, you can see it. But the book is called Kazone. And I created my goals based on the different spokes in your life. And so he talks about how if one spoke is broken, then it affects your other spokes. And so I did different spokes. So I picked out my word of the year. It's build. That's actually build within. And so I put the word, I put kind of a phrase that I have honestly been praying about. I felt like honestly God gave me this because I had been praying about it for a long time. I picked words that kind of really reflected other words, smaller words that showed me what build within means. And then I put little spokes of like, what are my goals this year for fitness? And I have a fitness spoke, right? Now, with this, I wrote walk 3 times a week. I'm going to stretch 5 times a week. I'm going to CrossFit 4 to 5 times a week. I'm going to get more specific with these because in order to achieve your goals, you have to take action. I have to know exactly what I want to do. So I know I want to stretch or go for walks, actually walk or run on the treadmill 3 days a week. I actually need to get more specific. I probably should set a goal of if I actually want to do a 5K or not. I really don't want to, but in general, I would like to do 10,000 steps a day or more. I don't have 100% specific goals. I'm telling you, and I can say 3 days a week. I probably should go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I know that is my goal, but that is the action. That's the specific SMART goal so that on Monday, when it comes around, I know on Mondays I do a longer walk. Does that make sense? Then I've got CrossFit Monday through Friday. Do you want to know why it's so important to write these out? Because I tell myself in my head, I've been telling myself for a year, a couple things actually. One of them was I need to stretch because stretching will help my body as I age stay more mobile. Is that the right word? Mobile. It is a goal of mine to stay healthy, to stay strong, to stay mobile as I age. I'm about to be 40, by the way. I'm going to be 40 in February, but I need you to hear something. I set the goal in my head at least a year ago of I'm going to stretch every day. You want to know how long that lasted? Not very long. Because I didn't have a visual set someplace. I didn't have SMART goals. I didn't actually set myself up for success. I forgot that I wanted to do that. I didn't have a visual to remind me. What's so great is if I put this in a spot, if I have reminders on my phone, if I set specific goals, then I know, like when I get up in the morning and I do my DMOs and I do the things that I want to do, all of a sudden I go, oh yeah, I wanted to stretch Monday through Friday. Duh. I got up, I reminded myself, I thought about it, I'm going to take the action. I told myself I should stretch in the evenings when the girls are watching a movie, right? When we're watching a movie or we're just talking in the evenings as families. So I need to get more specific on this, but it helps because I have a visual. It's not just in my brain. I need to get more specific, and then I will physically see it. I honestly need to set reminders in my phone, little calendar. I have like alarm clocks that go off throughout the day that reminds me of certain things that I want to do. Does this make sense? I want to know if this is making sense to any of you. Because in order for me to achieve these goals, I have them written down. It doesn't help just to have a visual and hope and pray that this works. I have to put the action behind it. I need to create systems or different habits. As I do that consistently, I raise my standards, because then I'm going to go, I'm not going to bed. I didn't stretch. Like, I'm going to raise my standards. And as I create healthy habits and different systems and raise my standards, it will help me reach my goals. I hope this makes sense. Thank you for saying yes for those who are participating. Thank you. So I have these written down in different areas. I have fitness, finances. This is more of when I'm working with my husband. So I'm 100% on board with that, but he's the money person. I just want to understand what we're doing. I have our business goals. I have our spiritual goals with our family, and it's like learn one new Bible verse a week with our girls. And I have a whole list of Bible verses. So that's a simple process. Just have to do it. And then I have our family goals, and then write a book, and I have the actions I'm going to do for that. So I have pictures I'm going to add to this today. Your vision board can look like whatever you want it to look like. If you saw my daughters, not all, they have a whole bunch of pictures, and we're going to write some dates by it. If you can actually see this, I'm going to show you something in this book, because it can be 5 pictures. It can be 3 pictures. If you look at these visuals, right? This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures and like a little note in the middle. And these are just from this book. This one has a whole bunch of, this one looks more strategic. It looks like, because she talks about how you could have a vision board just based on health and fitness. It doesn't have to be 5 different areas of your life. You could have a vision of just, maybe you really need to focus on relationships this year, or your family, or maybe you need to really focus on business or finances, whatever it is. You can have a specific vision goal. Look at this one. This one is tons of pictures. And I would encourage, and it's got little writings in between here, which I'm guessing are specific SMART goals and dates. So it can look like whatever you want it to look like. It doesn't have to look like mine. You don't have to have a word for the year, although I would encourage you to have a word for the year. We were sitting around a table with some people on Sunday, and I had asked a girl that was there, I said, hey, do you have a word for the year? And she kind of was like, well, no. What does that mean? And we kind of explained it to her, and she's like, if I had a word for this year, and she's like, it would be determined. And we were like, awesome. That can be your word for the year. So as you're going throughout your year, day in and day out, month after month, and maybe there's a day where it doesn't go your way, you wake up kind of cranky, somebody cuts you off in traffic, job isn't going great, somebody's crabby, like you spill your coffee all over the place, right? When things happen, she has that word to anchor to for the year, because she's like, nope, I am determined. I'm going to have a great day. I have these goals. My word is determined. I'm going to stop and take a breather, and I'm going to keep going with the small systems and habits that I'm creating to get to those goals that I'm wanting. All of these things that we're learning, of dreaming it, visualizing, creating visuals of boards, writing them down, getting specific, and then taking the action. All of these things, whether it's from this book, whether it is from this Power of One More book, which is great, right? Any of these books will help you take action and achieve those goals. This is the book that we're going to be doing starting in January. And he talks about 3 words. He says, we're going to start by thinking, being, and then doing. He talks about the power of your mindset. We think about things. He talks about being who you are called to be, using your gifts and talents, going after those things that are on your vision board. And then do, which is action. All of these people, which honestly, if you looked at their life, probably have success in certain areas of their life that you're wanting, things that you're wanting to achieve, goals that you're wanting to go after. And when you look at every single person that has not only written a book, but if you look at their life, has done it, which by the way, I have met all three of these authors. I've sat and talked to, well, actually I haven't talked to Ed Mylett personally. I'm so sorry. I've talked to Pastor Keith Craft many times and his wife. They're incredible people. I've talked to Terry. We went to some women's events and my daughter talked to her and said, someday I'm going to speak on your stage with you at one of the icing events. She does these incredible women events. She comes and speaks at our church. Ed Mylett came and spoke at one of our events with our business. Incredible. Hands down, one of the most amazing, I don't know if you call it a message or a talk. What would you call it, babe? What did he do?
It was his presentation.
His presentation. It was so good. So I kind of feel like I was talking to him because he was talking to me. But super great. The way that you can learn how to do things faster, achieve your goals faster, right? Go further faster in life is by following people that have already done it. And they've already said, don't do this, but do this. Don't do this, but do this. Here's what you need to do. You need to take action. You need to pin it. You need to live it. All of them have the same concept. So here's my encouragement for you in the morning. As you're dreaming, as you're getting those like goals out of your mind, because remember, I said, I'm going to stretch, but I haven't been stretching, is because it was stuck up here and I didn't get it written out and I didn't actually put the SMART goal behind it. And I just basically didn't do the action. So do you think that I'm any stretchier than I was last year? No, I'm not any more limber. I can't touch my toes right now. Like, listen, I can lift weights. I can do a lot of things, but I am challenged in being stretchy. I joke with people. I'm like, I can't even touch my toes. So I need to set a SMART goal and actually do the action. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste sitting on my vision board. So here's my encouragement to you. Get things out of your mind, get it written down, put a SMART goal to it, and then actually do the action. Put your vision board someplace where you're going to see it. You need to set little reminders in your phone. Accountability partners are great. Have somebody help you, your spouse, your kids, whoever. Ask your mom or your best friend, whatever you're going through or working through. You're like, I need you to ask me, or I'm going to check in with you every single day. Hey, do you want to go for a walk with me Monday, Wednesday, Friday? I don't care what it is. Like, get things in place so that you don't let yourself off the hook. So that is your word for this morning. I hope you guys have an incredible day. Grab this book if you want to go through it with us in January, or you can just tune into the page. This is a great gift if you're looking for a last-minute gift for those who are last-minute shoppers. And this one, I had a mom reach out to me. She's got 2 teenagers. And she's like, do you think that this book would be great for my girls? One is a senior and one graduated last year. And I said, yeah, I would actually grab this and the workbook, because she's like, my girls need some vision. I'm like, anybody can go through this. I give our younger girls an idea and a concept and I go through it with them. Hands down, your teenagers can go through this. So I hope you guys have a great day. Continue to tune into the Keto Mom page. Reach out with questions. Go to ketomomsecrets.com. Whatever you're looking for, I'm here to help. Whether it's, you can click on recipes, you can click on Mom Fuel because I drink this every day. If you've never tried it, post trial in the comments and we can chat. You can click on book club. You can click on, I don't know, there's lots of options on there. Or just watch me on social media. Instagram, Keto Mom Secrets. Facebook, Keto Mom. I'm actually on my personal page as well. And so I'm here to connect. If you've got questions, comments, I hope you guys have an incredible day. Go get your last minute shopping done. Reach out. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.